Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. We are 1 minute behind so far, so please forgive us, but I reckon we'll be okay. Um, Jack might want to hold on for another minute or two, just because we want to see if anybody else is going to make it, and then we can get started. If anybody's got any questions or something that they want clarifying, please feel free to write it in either the chat or Q&A, something like that, and then we can make sure we get that covered.
Can I make a start?
Yeah, I think that would be okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find a position where I've not got sun in my eyes.
Yeah, good luck.
Oh,
Do it
bloody
blind.
hell. Yeah, I'll do my eyes closed. Yeah, we'll make
That's
we'll
how
make a start then anyway.
that's how confident he is. Do it with his eyes closed.
Yeah. So we'll make a start. We'll be recording anyway, I think, will we,
Yeah,
James? You want to set that
yeah,
recording?
yep.
Um, and then so anyone's missing, or if you want to share it with anyone after, we can do that. No problem. So,
Lovely.
good morning, everybody. My name is Jack Edwards. I'm Sales and Technical Manager for Natural Cement. And the presentation we've got for this morning is on enhancing water infrastructure with NATCEM, as in natural cement products. So, we'll probably be about 20, 30 minutes in total. Try and keep it short and sweet, try and keep it interesting. But this is the format of how I'm going to run through things. I'll start off with a bit of an introduction to natural cement as a business or what we get involved with. Then I'll run through some of the properties of the natural cement, explain how the products work, why they do what they would do, why they work slightly different to other products that are available on the market. I'll then run through some water industry specific applications, what the products are predominantly used for in the water industry. Then I'll run through IFUs, instructions for use documents, and return to service. Something that's really, really important that is referred to when the products are used especially in potable water applications. And then to finish off, I've got just a couple of projects and case study examples to run through. So as I mentioned, probably about 20 to 30 minutes in total. To start off with an introduction to us as Natural Cement. So we manufacture, based in South Yorkshire, we manufacture products based on a natural cement binder, as in NATCEM. So all the products are based on the same natural cement binder. That's what gives us all the unique properties, which I'll run through shortly. But the range is predominantly made up of mortars, grouts, and sprayed concrete products. So each product will arrive on site, 25 kilo bag, all the aggregate, everything pre-blended, add water, and then apply. In terms of industries we're involved in, water obviously, which is the topic at today's presentation. But we're not limited to that. We get involved in all sorts of win and fill things, but the products are predominantly used for in civil engineering projects, generally for sort of repairs and maintenance, especially in areas where you want to get in, get something done quickly, and get it back into service as quickly as possible. So, what is NATCEM? NATCEM, short for natural cement, is a particular type of cement which is manufactured from a natural alpine stone. It's a cement that's manufactured from a particular type of stone. It's called an argillaceous limestone, which essentially contains everything you need to produce a cement without the need for any further additions. So it's taken from the ground, it's heated, ground to a powder, and then we use it. All the properties we get from it naturally, as I just said, without the need for any further additions. So it contains no chemical additives, and what it does, it allows rapid commission as civil engineering works. It's very fast, it gets strong very quickly, it cures very fast. So all sort of unique properties, which makes it slightly different in terms of chemistry to that of Portland cement. So as I just mentioned, all the products are based on the same natural cement binder, and these are the properties that the natural cement binder gives us. The majority of properties I'm running through in the next couple of slides would only be usually achievable in a cement or concrete type product by using chemical additives, whereas a natural cement, we get all these properties from the product naturally without the need for any further additions. So the first thing being, you've got a very, very fast set. So cement itself, once that's been ground to a powder, if you were to add water to that, the natural setting time is around 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. So they're very, very fast setting naturally. So we've got a product called Water Stop, which I'll run through shortly, which is used for sealing against active leaks. That's a natural setting time around 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes. To then make that into the other products that we supply, we do have to add in a retard. I know we don't add any additives, but to extend that setting time to make it into a more workable mix to create the other products that we supply. We had a retarder. The retarder that we use is another natural product. It's citric acid, which is basically lemon juice in powdered form. Better that during manufacture, we can control the set time. But that being said, the longest setting product we do is around an hour, so products are all fairly fast setting. As well as setting very fast, excuse me, the products also get strong very quickly. They've got very high early compressive strength and ultimate compressive strength. So it's these two properties really, the fast setting nature and the rapid strength gain, that mean the products lend themselves well to repair work and remedial work again, especially in areas where you want to get something done quickly and put straight back into service. The products are safe for use of potable water, which is obviously the main sort of topic of the presentation this morning. We've got 6 different products which are DUI Reg 31 approved for direct contact with potable water, which I'll run through shortly. The products also have natural waterproofing properties. They can be used for both positive and negative water pressures, so it's either keeping water in structures or keeping water out. They will also sit underwater. Got anti-washout properties, so essentially they'll perform exactly the same underwater as they will out of water, which I'll run through in a little bit more detail later. And also the products have a high chemical resistance, so they're resistant to quite a wide range of different pHs, quite a wide range of different chemicals, mainly being sulfates, nitrates, and chlorides. But on our website, we do have a full list of all the different chemicals that the products are resistant to. So as well as being suitable for application in clean waters, they also are really ideal for use in wastewater environments as well. The products are rapid curing. So I mentioned on the last slide about we've got 6 different products which are DGI approved for potable water. Each product is approved with 1 hour's curing period before return to service after the product's been installed, which is a massive time-saving benefit for the water industry in particular, but I will go into a little bit more detail on that later. The products are easy to use. It's one component system, mix powder with water for 2 minutes, then apply it. Very, very, very straightforward. The products have no limited shelf life. So if looking at the bags of material, it will have a batch number which references the manufacture date. But as long as it's kept in decent dry conditions, it would save for years if need be, without any implications to using it after 12 months, for example. Ideal for use in around winter. The products can be used down to 0 degrees, and also because natural cement, when it's produced, it's fired at a much lower temperature than that of modern Portland cement. The products also have around a 30% lower carbon footprint than that of modern Portland cement as well. So that's the main, like I said, that's natural cement. That's what we use to form the basis of all our products. So every product's based on the same natural cement binder. That's what gives us all the unique properties. The only thing that tends to really change from one to the other is the aggregate size, which will give varying strengths and varying finishes, and that will govern the minimum application the product can be installed, and the retarder, which will govern the set time. Altering these ingredients, we can cater for most sort of applications. If you do look for our website or any of our literature, you'll see we've not actually got masses and masses of different products. One of the reasons being is the products that are all multi-use products. They're all suitable for a number of different applications. So just to sort of focus on the products for the water industry in particular clean potable drinking water, we've got 6 different products which are DUI Reg 31 approved, and also NATCEM 35 has also recently gained RAS approval as well. So we'll be looking at adding that to all the other products shortly. So just to sort of run through the range as a quick sort of overview. So we've got NATCEM 35, you can see on the left. That product can be used for a minimum of 10 millimeters. It can be used for concrete repairs. It can be used on the floor of the screed. It can be used, makes it a bit wetter and used as a waterproof render, used for repointing, grouting. And that's just one product. And that's a sort of similar theme really throughout the range. The products are all multi-use products suitable for lots and lots of different applications. So it's the kind of product that if you've got the product in your warehouse or on the vans, you're always going to find something to use it for rather than just waiting for one particular application to come up that it's suitable for. So we've got NATCEM 35, that can be used for minimum 10 mil. We've got NATCEM AC, which can be used for minimum 3 millimeters, can be used in anti-carbonation coating, for sort of fine concrete repair material. It uses a fine grout. We've got NATCEM D, which is grout. That is a sort of really fine, free-flowing grout that can be used down to virtually less than a millimeter. Very, very fine, very free flowing. Got very low compressive strength. It's got potable water approval, so ideal for use in any sort of application around potable water, generally in terms of sort of just sort of general void filling, stabilization, wherever it may be. We've got NATCEM DW, which is a slightly longer setting version of natural cement, a bit extra 10 minutes working time. It is the same minimum application thickness, 10 millimeters. A very similar application, can be used for concrete repairs, waterproofing, screening, etc. We've got our Shotcrete 513, which is our only spray concrete product, which carries DUI approval. and it's basically a sprayed version of the NATCEM 35. Setting time on that is around sort of 5 to 10 minutes. That can be used for any sort of dry spray concrete application, whether that be concrete repairs, waterproofing, whatever it may be. Again, and then lastly, we've got our water stop, which is a plug, and use that for sealing against active leaks. So you've got water penetrating through a concrete structure, for example. You mix that into a putty in your hands, hold it in place over the leak. It sets in sort of a minute and a half to 2 minutes, and then the leak will be sealed. So in a nutshell, that's the sort of core of the range of products that are approved for potable water. So just to run through some of the sort of main applications that natural cement products are suitable for in general, especially in terms of the water industry specifically. So concrete repairs, we've got a number of different products which are suitable for concrete repairs. Obviously, I've just ran through a couple of them already. Again, we've got products suitable for varying minimum thicknesses, varying strengths, depending on the sort of applications that you're going to be they're going to be suitable for. Just to give you an example, if you look at the picture in this, sorry, to the right, that is our NATCEM 35 being used through treatment works in Sheffield. Project done probably a couple of years ago now. So at the bottom of these tanks, they've got a sort of large concrete sort of screeded area, which are delaminated in some areas. They need to carry out some repairs. By using NATCEM 35, one, that product's going to be resistant to all sort of nasties and that you're going to be getting in that sort of environment, so you know it's going to be able to perform. But by using that product, you make the drain down the tank, carry out the repairs, and fill it straight back up the next day, put it straight back into service. So again, another example how the products are really, really suitable for anywhere where you need to either working against time or you need to put something back into service quickly. Waterproofing or rendering. So when the products are used for waterproofing or tanking, they're generally applied as a render. So we've got our NATCEM 35, NATCEM DW, NATCEM tank, all suitable, all applied as a render for a minimum of 10mm thickness. 10mm coating natural cement render, all back up to 10 bar hydrostatic pressure, which is a 100-meter head of water, so it's pretty strong stuff. The one on the bottom right, sorry, on the right hand side, you can see that was our NATCEM tank being used for sewage treatment works. Some refurbishing the concrete structures. The tanks were sort of severely deteriorated. Use that as a render applied, and you can see got a really good finish on it, and refurbished it and extended the life that tank in particular. Screening, again, same products, NATCEM 35, NATCEM tank, NATCEM 35, NATCEM DW, both ideal for being used as a screed. Especially in around any sort of wet environments, whether that be clean potable drinking water, wastewater, anywhere. Especially ideally in areas where you need to get something done and put it back into service quickly. Applied for a minimum of 10mm. But just to give an example of the sort of potential time-saving benefits as opposed to using a sand and general sort of cheap and cheerful sand and cement screed, for example. If you look at the image on the right, you can see that's some 35 being applied to screed at the bottom of a pool by sort of 30-40mm thickness over the full pool area. By using NATCEM 35 in that particular application, it meant the contractor could get in, lay the screed, and the following day come straight on top of it with a liquid waterproofing system. Now, if they would have used a standard sand and cement screed in that particular instance, you'd be looking at up to 28 days waiting for it to dry out before they could get on top of it with a liquid waterproofing system. So even though that product is a waterproofing system in its own right, it was used purely to provide a surface they could get on top of quickly with a following system. So just an example how sometimes the sort of possible increase in material costs can be far outweighed by the potential time savings. Grouting, we've got a few different products that can be used for grouts. The main ones being NATCEM D, which I mentioned before. NATCEM AC can be used for grouting from a minimum of 3mm. That's the product that's been pumped on the right and the left there. We've got NATCEM 35 that can be pumped and poured from a minimum of 10mm. And NATCEM DW as well, the same. So especially useful for grouting in and around any sort of potable water environments. I know you're very, very limited on what you can use these days because there's not actually many products that are suitable for grouting in and that still sort of carry the approvals. Luckily, it has do. And the bottom left, you can see the image there. That was a project at Headingley Water Treatment Works, and NATCEM AC being used to grout at the bottom of the filtration tanks. Perfect for that sort of application because, again, tanks have been drained, get in, carry out the repairs, following day, fill it back up and put it straight back into service. So another example how you get massive sort of time-saving benefits over other alternative products. Underwater. So I mentioned earlier that products will perform exactly the same underwater as they will out of water. So they've got anti-washout properties. The products are also pH neutral on set, so there's nothing that's going to in that sort of mix that's going to affect the pH of the water course. Not just sort of clean water reservoirs, but the products can be used for any sort of wet environment. So again, that could be reservoirs, wastewater applications, rivers, canals, marine environments, any sort of wet environments. The products are ideal for keeping projects flowing in and around water. Whether that being sort of general repairs, repointing, whatever it may be, we've got a range of products that are suitable for that. And then lastly, sprayed concrete. So the sprayed concrete products we supply or dry spray application, they're generally set between sort of 5 to 10 minutes, depending on the products. We have got a range of sort of 5 or 6 different products. We've got some options for fibre reinforced. We've got one product which carries approval for potable water. All the products will be suitable for wastewater because they've all got the very high chemical resistance. We look at the image on the left, you can see that's one of our Shotcrete 530 being sprayed on the bank of the River Thames. Because the product secs so quickly, it's got a rapid strength gain, perfect for installation where it's going to be submerged, working against rising river levels, for instance, rising sea levels. That product can be submerged very, very shortly after it's been installed without having any detrimental effect on the product. And also, we've got 2 different spray concrete products that are suitable for actually being used for stopping incoming water. They've been used successfully to stop up to 2 bar inflowing water pressure as well. So I mentioned at the beginning about the instructions for use document. So when any products that is carries a DUI approval and can be used for potable water applications, it will have a instructions for use document. It's a mandatory requirement. It's something that will include all our information in terms of applications, method statements, scope of use, what the product can be used for, what it can't be used for, sort of special precautions to take in terms of mixing an application. So it's really, really vital that this document is followed in any sort of, I said, potable water application. It's something that is evolving. So our products have been approved for this application for many, many years. It's something that we're always getting feedback from contractors or water companies in ways we can improve the document and make it easier to understand. So it's something that we've been really trying to push the last few years, trying to make the information as easily to digest as possible. As I just mentioned on there, in each particular document for that particular product, you'll have all the information on the relevant approval, when the product's approval expires and when it starts from, etc. What the product can be used for, what it can't be used for, minimum application thicknesses, which is very, very important with any cementitious product, especially anything that contains an aggregate will have a minimum application thickness. Any sort of surface preparation that needs to be required, and all the sort of steps included to ensure a successful application. On there, you'll also find information on return to service. So this is something that can cause a bit of confusion sometimes. So I've mentioned before at the beginning about natural cement products having an hour's curing period, which is correct. All our approvals are based on 1 hour's cure after the initial setting time. But that can differ between what temperature the products is installed at. So just to sort of clarify the sort of differences between setting time and curing and strength gain. So setting time is the initial product, so the product going from a pliable state to firming up and stiffening up. The curing time is then the process after that, where it allows for chemical reactions to take place. With a natural cement product, because it works slightly different to that of Portland cement, the curing time is 1 hour, regardless of the temperature, regardless of the applications. It's the temperature will affect the setting time. So the setting time can be longer, which I'll show on the next slide after. But the curing period will always remain 1 hour after that initial setting time. Then also, following on that, you will get a period of strength gain over the days and weeks and months. The product will get stronger and stronger and stronger over time. So just to give you an example how the temperature can affect the initial setting time, which will in turn affect the curing time and return to service. In lower temperatures, the set's going to be longer. In higher temperatures, the set's going to be faster. 20 degrees, NATCEM 35 will set between 35 to 45 minutes. At 7 degrees, we're looking at sort of an hour to 75 minutes. So you can see how the sort of temperature does really affect the initial setting time. The curing period would then still remain to be 1 hour after that final setting time. So the curing period at plus setting time at 20 degrees, for instance, would be an hour and 40 minutes, whereas at 0 degrees, you're looking at 4 hours. I know fairly often it's it's not very often that the product will get returned to service within an hour after it's been installed anyway, because there's other processes need to be taken part. Might need to clean everything down, might need to get all the machinery out of there. Generally speaking, it will be 24 hours later anyway. But as long as you follow these guidelines, it will ensure that we don't get any issues in terms of returning some things to service too quickly. Also, just an example of the strength gain. So, as I mentioned, sometimes the cure and strength gain are two terms that can get used sort of interchangeably, but they are two separate processes. So, just because the product's fully cured, it doesn't mean it's reached its full potential in terms of strength. It will continue to gain strength after the initial curing period. This is just showing some of the strengths that are achievable for the particular product, NATCEM 35. You can see after the strength gains very early, after 3 hours, you've got 16 MPa compressive strength. So I said the product gets strong very quickly, which is one of the reasons why, with the short curing period, it's perfect for carrying out repairs and then putting things straight back into service. See the strength you've got 28 days. With the natural cement products as well, another sort of unique property between natural cements and Portland cements is the fact that even after that 28-day period, the products will continue to gain strength even after that period. So as long as the preparation, mixing, installation, everything's done correctly in the first place, the chances of getting it problems down further down the line are obviously very, very slim, because the longer that product's in place, all it's going to continue to do is gain strength over time. So I've just got a few different projects to run through, a few sort of case studies, examples, and last sort of few slides to finish off and see if anybody's got any questions. So the first one I've got is a project Nippersley. This is spillway repairs used on NATCEM AC. It was done fairly recently. There's a full case study written up on this website. You can see a lot of the joints have deteriorated and started to wash away. Use NATCEM AC to fill out, rake out, and fill in the joints. Again, it meant they could put it back into service very shortly after the repairs as well. This one is a project down in the Southwest Water Project, I think, in Margate. So it's two treatment works. It was probably done 2 or 3 years ago now. They used our Shotcrete 513. A lot of the tanks had sort of heavily deteriorated through the chemicals that they're getting in there, and the sort of wastewater environment eating away at the concrete. So the contractor involved in this particular project, lots and lots of preparation in terms of getting the reinforcement ready and the concrete ready to receive the sprayed concrete coating. Use our Shotcrete 513 to reinstate these tanks, and I do believe they put an additional layer of protection over the top in terms of another chemical resistant coating, just to sort of belt and braces, even though that product's got very high chemical resistance in its own right, just sort of belt and braces to make sure it's fully protected, again, to extend the life of that particular asset. And then finally, another project is the reservoir refurbishment up in Scotland by Stonbury that carry this one out. So the full case on our website. They're using our NATCEM AC for carrying out concrete repairs and applying a screed to this reservoir. And even though the full case you can read on our website, they're carrying this project out through the spring and winter months, working in very, very low temperatures. But by using natural cement products, it meant they could keep the project moving through the winter months rather than delaying it till the spring. So thanks everybody for your time this morning. And if anybody has got any questions, please fire away.
Yeah, we've got 2 questions in our Q&A section from Paul Thompson, who asks, are your products suitable for coating sludge tanks to provide concrete protection against sulfur dioxide gas?
Sorry, not 100% sure on that one. I might have to get back to you. So the products are ideal for protecting concrete from, in terms of chemicals, in terms of liquid. In gas, I might have to check, because they are a vapor permeable material. I'm not sure how it would work in that sort of scenario, but if I can get your details, Paul, I'll be happy to have a chat about that after and look into it a bit further. But your second question about repairing concrete shields and point shutters, then yeah, that's not an issue.
Good stuff. Good to know. Well, if anybody else has any questions for us, please feel free to ask while you've got us. I think that's probably a safe bet towards no. So thank you very much for your time, everybody. I hope this has been useful and informative for everybody who's taken the time to join us. If anybody would like a recording, we are more than happy to send this to you so that you can share it with your team or review back on yourself. Thank you.
Yep, and also if anyone needs a CPD certificate, we can provide them as well. Just drop us an email.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll post my email in the chat. Okay, thank you. Thanks everybody.